Hello? Yeah, all right. Okay, if you are not willing to speak, that's also fine. So I'll try to share my screen with you. Is my screen is visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Thank you. So fine. So yesterday we have discussed about how these East India Company got established in India, and how this English language emerged and how it became dominant language, and how it got uh, yeah, then how this English language got emerged, and yeah, how our Indians started ignoring Sanskrit and Arabic language, and how started focusing on English language because of its importance, and like the employment uh, facilities, I could say, in East India Company. To promote the English language, they started giving the free books, and also Lord, we have discussed about Lord Macaulay as well, and also we have discussed about Wood's dispatch. Depend on Macaulay's how Wood's William, like Wood's how he like came with some reforms like changes, and then also we have discussed about uh, another committee like probably wait, what we have discussed for yesterday. Yeah, we have discussed about DS Kothari commissions as well, and also DS Kothari's recommendations, how women education he empowered, he focused on women education as well as vocational education. Also, the team of 17 members, what they like visited entire India, and what uh, they have understood, and they have submitted. We have discussed for yesterday, and we'll continue today's session with. Uh, okay. This Indian Universities Act, that is 1904, the British Viceroy Lord Curzon passed the Indian Universities Act in the 1904 on recommendations of the Relic Commission, which tightened control over the Indian universities. Curzon was on a mission to put a stop to India's bargaining nationalism. The Hunter Commission's recommendations for video on the record. Sorry. Yeah. Uh, okay. A proper education system in India were not met with success. The education procedure in India was not carried out in accordance with the Commission's recommendations. As a result, after becoming Governor General of India, Lord Curzon sought to implement reforms in all areas of administration, including education. Then we have first they came here, and like Governor General of the East India Company, he asked Macaulay to give some ideas, like some changes, how to impose English language as well as their culture and all. Then depend on his ideas. Then William Woods came here, and he also gave his views. Then again, uh, again they want some changes. Then Lord Cruzen also want to change some education, in education, to give the mass education as well as education, English education, reach to all the people over in India. Then what are the things we'll see in the next slide. Yeah. Then yeah, political unrest characterized the beginning of the 20th century. According to the official line, education had deteriorated under the private management, and educational institutions had become factories for producing political revolutionaries. Nationalists accept the decline in quality, while accusing the government of doing nothing to eliminate literacy. So you can understand from this. In 1902, the Raleigh Commission was formed to investigate the condition and prospect of universities in India and make recommendations for improvements to the constitution and operations. The commission was not permitted to report the primary and secondary education. The Indian University Act was passed in 1904 based on its recommendations. So these are the things like a few nationalists accepted the decline in quality while accusing uh, to those. These are the these English people came with a lot of reforms. Still, illiteracy was remained. So they came up with a few things. What are they? We'll see. The first provision of this act required. Uh, Search here, this PPT with us. Yeah, sure. Actually, I have shared with you. Know yesterday I took three contact numbers, and already I have forwarded whatever I have discussed, and a few more ones if you didn't get, quickly put it your contact numbers in this chat box, then you will get it today's PPT. Okay, and in future also. The first provision of this act required to universities governing bodies to be reconstructed and the size of the Senate to be reduced. The number in the Senate could now between the 50 and 100. Each of them would be in office for 6 years. The number of elected, they are coming with like uh, current whatever they are whatever already existed, and they want to enhance the teaching English as well as um, what I can say, to give more facilities, to give more higher education to all in the India. The number of elected fellows was set at 50 for universities of Bombay, Calcutta, and Madras. So these three universities are, we could say, first established universities in India, and 15 for the rest of the universities. This act empowered. Okay. Okay, fine, friends. You can focus on your chat box also. Our friends are suggesting us how to, yesterday. A few guys asked about how to enrich your English vocabulary, and so someone is texting in the chat box. Okay, you focus on that. This act empowered the government to appoint a majority university fellows. See, too many slides we have. Quickly, I'm going. Okay. The Governor General was now given the authority to determine the territorial limits of universities as well as the affiliation of universities and colleges. The Indian Universities Act placed university and college entirely under the control of the government. Then these universities as well as affiliated colleges, universities or came under the control government. Like government can only suggest what sort of curriculum should be used and syllabus should be teach or taught in the affiliated colleges or own bodies like aided bodies, or these are the things. A grant of 5 lakhs per year for 5 years was also accepted for the better education and research. And if you see in Macaulay's minute, before Macaulay's, there was no amount, there was no actually granted aid system in India. Then he came up with some amount like 1 lakh should be used from entire budget for educate the Indian people. For the development of institutions or whatever. So then here a grant of 5 lakhs per 5 years was also accepted for the better education and research. This was the beginning university grants in India, which later become a permanent feature in India's educational structure. Okay. Yeah, so what are these Indian Universities Act 1904 recommendations? We have a few recommendations. Universities were to place a greater emphasis on education and research. So Kotari suggested in education, learning by doing. So not only learning theoretically, also there should be some laboratories as well as some practice for experiential learning, coordination of body and mind. That's what here universities were placed a greater emphasis on education and research. So research should also be there. For research, there should be a particular amount to know the literature or whatever to go deeper into the subject. Okay, the number of university fellows and the term of office were reduced, and the majority of fellows were to be nominated by the government. The government was to have the authority to veto university senate regulation and amend or pass regulation on its own. Conditions for the affiliations of private colleges were to be tightened, and a 5 year grant of 5 lakhs rupees was to be made available for the improvement of higher education as well as universities. So now you can see, for example, if I want to tell you the which universities or for a higher education, which universities are focusing, they are getting um, special funds like IIE, that is Indian Institute of Eminence. So to much better for research improvement and higher education. Okay. Wait. Yeah. All right. So Indian Universities Act. So what are the outcomes? So the Act empowered the government to appoint a majority of university fellows. The Governor General has now given the authority to determine the territorial limits of universities as well as the affiliation of universities and colleges. Okay, it was passed in order to strengthen government control over the universities. It delegated to government officials the authority to make final decisions on college affiliations and school recognition, and it sought to be set minimum colleges fees. So see, gradually, if you see like 1990s and now 2020, few changes are there. When it was in 2000 and in 90s, there were least fees and yeah, even least facilities, as well as we have a limitation for everything. But now you can access to like online, or you have everything now, like good laboratories, good facilities. Even we have, before it was not a residential campus, like you need to be like you need to travel from home, or you need to be outside of the university campus. But no, there was no campus, only institution. But now you can stay over there, and you can like access throughout, like the year, or your like time period. Okay. Yeah. The Act mandated that universities carry out teaching functions. As the results, postgraduate teaching was introduced at Kolkata University, and honor course in various subjects were introduced at Bombay University. So, just before I mentioned three universities, so gradually they are starting their functions like honor courses. Like we have many multidisciplinary subjects. Yeah, research in science, economics, and experimental psychology was given special consideration. Okay, research in science, like we have now plant science, as well as what I can say, life science. Okay, and economics, like we are much focused on chemistry as well these days. Okay, for psychology, to understand the human behavior, or other things, was given special consideration because of the outbreak of the Great War. The government resolution on educational policy dated February 21, 1913, regarding the university education could not be implemented. Okay, there was a break. Cruson justified greater control over the universities in the in the name of quality and efficiency. But in reality, he sought to limit education and discipline to educate to be loyal to the government. Nationalists saw it as an attempt to strengthen imperialism and undermine nationalist sentiment. It was dubbed a retrograde measure by Gokhale. So then we'll move on to the uniformity in the university system. So universities all should be like equal, and we'll see what are the things. Right to education under the Article 21A, you know well, that is Article 21A is right to education. Everybody should get educated. Of the Constitution has to be read in the conformity when with Article 14, 15 and preamble of the Constitution, and there was must be no discrimination in equality of education throughout the territory of India. Like to get an education in India, um, there should not be any bias, gender bias, or any socio economic, or like color, creed, or caste, or religion. Everybody should be get education as per the Article 21A. Thus, a common syllabus and a common curriculum is required. So we have different like curriculum, as well as syllabus also. If you see in the state, we have this state syllabus, and central we have CBSE, and another called ICSE, and a few people are following some depend on their own structured syllabus and all. But these curriculum, yesterday I have spoke something about this curriculum plays a major role in everybody's life, uh, because everything whatever students learn from the syllabus as well as curriculum. Syllabus is related to your semester, or it will be like year end, but the curriculum will be there throughout the course, like ending of your entire um, course, or your time period. What Not only academics things, everything will be counted in it, and what you have to do, what all things you need to learn. Like if we talk about this in education, people where they should go for training, like we call it as what we call internship. Okay, so something like practice teaching and all. Okay, that is TP training, practice, something like that. Uh, the right of child should not be restricted only to free and compulsory education, but should be extended to have uniform education system throughout the territory of India without any discrimination. Okay, social, economic, religious, and cultural background. Yeah, that's done. Then an uniform education system would be achieved the code of a common culture, removal of disparity, and depletion of discriminatory values in human relationship. It would enhance the virtues and improve the quality of human life, elevate the thoughts which advance our constitutional philosophy of equal society. In future, it may prove to be a basic preparation on uniform civil code, as it may be help in discriminating opportunities to those who foment fanatic and vociferous tendencies. See, it's like uh, these equality in the sense, the syllabus or curriculum should not focus on a particular religion. Then it's not a equal learning, or equal, what I can say, um, uh, uniform in education system. Like it should not be at all like whatever you have your political agenda, or your religious agenda, or caste agenda, they should not be mentioned in the book at all. Why we are discussing here? Because you are going to be a future teacher, or whatever. These these should be keep it in your mind. This is very very like important thing to be a good teacher, because what is happening in India, we can see these days, how people are fighting for their own, instead of valuing the values, people are valuing which are not existed, the bullshit beliefs. Okay, the ultimate goal of the executive, legislature, and the judiciary is welfare of the people, and also achieve the golden goals as set out in the preamble. Education cannot the whole course of the scholastic instructions which a person has received. It cannot cannot the process of training, the developing a knowledge, skill, mind, and the character of the student by formal schooling. That's what we were discussing about this. So if we focus on some particular particular area, then it won't give all round development in the student's life, or learner's life. Okay, everything should given depend on the evidences, empirical evidences. Okay, scientifically proved, and it should be useful for their entire life. Okay, yeah, not only their life, and they it should be like transformed, or it should be transferred to the other generation. Okay. The policy also proved for the sufficient expense. Yeah, I'm in right slide. The policy also proved for sufficient expansion of lower primary school with the simultaneous opening of upper primary schools. It proposed to streamline inspection and supervision, appoint trained teachers, subsidize maktabas and patashalas, improve school facilities, and encourages girls' education. Okay, so to streamline the supervision, appoint a trained teacher. Trained teachers are required in India because I don't see it is working effectively, because just once a teacher appointed for a post, then he or she should be given proper training wherever they required. Otherwise, if they joined once, then throughout the life, they are if they won't change, depend on this upgradation of this society, then it's not a use. Okay, yeah. And these subjects of industrial importance were to be included in the curriculum. Okay, industrial importance, like yesterday we have discussed about this agriculture. People not at all they are focused on agriculture field, because we need to take a lot of efforts. Okay, and even the Indians don't know how to do the innovative agriculture. They are using lots of fertilizers. Okay, and even the outcome also, like the what I can say, they are investing much and they are not getting. So education, this agriculture education also focused, and the researcher should come up with some solution. Okay, not to work too hard, and how a uh, farmer should become monopolized. Okay, also this about industrial, uh, like what are the importance of industries, then how we can produce the things whatever we have, what we can export and what we can import. However, the first world war delayed the implementation of the many recommendations set of in the resolution. So some uh, because of this first world war, many things like commissions are got delayed. Okay. Calcutta, next we'll see the Calcutta University Commission, that is 1917. Yeah. Meanwhile, yesterday I asked someone to give a presentation. Are you ready? Then we'll continue. Manjusha. Manjusha, are you ready? Hello? Manjusha, you can text me if you are not ready. No, no issues at all. Wait. Yeah, okay. So wait, that's also fine. Can you speak? No, I explain. No, in your own word, can you explain to the class quickly? Hello, can you do that? Okay, fine. So you can. Okay, okay. Yeah, all right. So last 10 minutes I'll give for you. So see the Calcutta University Commission. Okay, fine. In 1917, the Calcutta University Commission was appointed by the government of India under the chairmanship of Mr. Michael Sadler. Also, Calcutta University Commission, also known as Sadler Commission, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Leeds. So it was popularly known as the Sadler Commission. This commission was appointed for the purpose of marking recommendations for reform Calcutta University, although it dealt with the Calcutta University. Only the problems it had suited were more or less common to the other Indian universities. So the report of the commission is a document of in provincial importance, and it had far-reaching consequences upon the development of university in India as a whole. The commission came to the conclusion that university system itself, particularly in Bengal, was fundamentally defective in every aspect. The number of students were too great to be have efficiently dealt with.
The college.
Yeah, who is talking? Someone is speaking, no? Hello? Is someone wants to share something? Okay, all right. The commission came to the conclusion that the university system itself, particularly in Bengal, yeah, the administration was unsatisfactory and yeah, ineffective as an instrument for the encouragement of learning. On the other hand, it studied the problem of secondary education, as the improvement of secondary education was an essential foundation for the promotion of university teaching itself. Okay, so to here to run the universities well, like first primary and secondary education, like enrollment should be there, and also they should be like to reach to like if we have some if you have the enough capabilities or caliber to crack the university entrance, then only you can reach up to the university education. Okay, therefore, the commission also made the radical recommendations regarding the recognition of the secondary schools. Um, so, a few recommendations are like separation of intermediate class from universities. Okay, even now we have the same system. Like we have first to 10th, we'll be calling school or schooling, and then we'll go for plus one, plus two, that is intermediate. Then will moving into the university education. Okay, separation of intermediate classes from the universities at the stage of admission to the university was to be after intermediate and not matriculation. Curriculum separation over 3 years prescribed for the first degree. Establishment of intermediate colleges with the teaching facilities in art, science, medicine, engineering, education, agriculture, etc. These colleges might be attached to the high school run independently. Foundation of secondary and intermediate board education in each province, consisting of representative of the government universities, high school and intermediate colleges for the control and management of the secondary and intermediate education. Establishment of teaching and residential universities, and introduction of honors courses. We have discussed about these things, like universities, if they have residential facilities in the campus, then yeah, it, universities can produce a lot of intellectuals. Okay, also honors courses distinct from the past courses meet to the requirements of able students. Okay, Formation of selection committee, including the external experts, select the professors, readers, and lecturers. Okay. Establishment of inter-university board for coordinating the work of all universities. Okay. Like in university, we'll be having BOS called Board of Studies member to coordinate the work of all universities. Appointment for a director for physical education to look the physical welfare of students. So not only focusing on academics, also uh, like our health and not only this like mental health as well as our health condition like physical welfare, like, that for their PDs, that is physical director, also should be appointed, and expansion of vocational and professional education, including teacher training. Yeah, vocational like courses, like whatever yesterday we have discussed about what is vocational courses and all, and the professional education, like teachers should be trained every stage, like wherever they require, whenever they want to learn something new or something related to technology or whatever. Okay, creation of different faculties, formation of academic council and board of studies for setting academic matters relating to course and studies, examination, research. Um, Before also I mentioned board of studies. This is for formation academic, like what should be there in the curriculum, what should be learned, how should be taught. Okay, and yeah, and examination, how examination should be conducted, the pattern, also research work, etc. And we'll see the these about wood report, that is 1937, the absence of adequate and a proper vocational education was being felt in India, and the public was rising its demand for it since long. Therefore, the government of India invited in 1936 to 37 two British experts to come in India to prepare a plan for vocational education in the country. These two experts were about and S.H. Wood. That's what this is. These report called as the Abbott and Wood report. The two person turned in Punjab, Delhi, and UP, and prepared a report on vocational education. Just a minute, friends. Okay. Then these two persons turned in Punjab, Delhi, and Uttar Pradesh, and prepared a report on vocational education within the 4 months. This report was neither comprehensive nor successful. On the basis of this report, the Sergeant report of 1944 was published. Okay, The Surgeon report presented a more detailed plan of vocational education than. See, we are trying uh, in 90s to till date for vocational education. Um, so we are unable to get it. We are unable to succeed it. Okay. The surgeon report presented a more detailed plan of vocational education than about report did. However, the latter ones cannot be ignored as it has its own importance. Yeah. So, vocational education should be organized according to the needs of various vocational areas. No vocational area should be considered less important. Okay. Um, Vocational education should be organized in the sense it should be properly structured according to the needs of various vocational areas. So can anyone from our class, can anyone tell me actually what are the um, vocational education should be organized according to the needs of various, yeah, what are vocational courses and what is vocational area is, can anyone speak on it? How many vocational courses we have? Okay, fine. uh, no vocational area should be considered less important. We have, if you talk about these ITIs, that is industrial training institutes, we have NACC, not something it is there in Hyderabad itself. It is central institution. It is there in what I can say, which area exactly? Yeah, it's located in high tech city. Also, another, yeah, we have government ITS as well. So we should not think um, we have enough trades in it. Oh, civil. Okay. Oh, we should go for only civil. We should not go for welder. We should not go for diesel mechanic and something. Other courses are there. So all trades have their own importance. Okay. In the organization of vocational education, the main regional vocation should be specially considered. Okay. Also, carpentry as well as some machines as well as some uh, what yeah, more stitching and some medical courses also comes under these vocational uh, courses or vocational training MLT, DMLT and something or some other courses are there. I don't remember for your information. Just I'm giving an examples. Okay, so where every area is important. Not something like if you talk about this industrial education, then comes under BTech. Oh, we'll think like okay, CSC is not good, EC is not good. That this so everything is important and everything is have their own values. Okay. Vocational education should be considered at par with the literacy and science education, and its stand should be raised. Vocational education should be considered as complementary to other types of education. Okay, so not only this engineering and lawyer or other professions, they are only not superb or something else, but vocational courses also have their own importance. Yeah, sorry for an interruption. For general and occasional education, there should be separate schools, as the purpose of the two is different. Like we can't like collaborate theoretical learning as well as experiential learning. Okay, so we, you know well, where we learn this theoretical education and where we'll go for this practice or training. We need some equipments, okay, or laboratories or whatever. Skillful workers engaged in small industries should be also given proper occasional training. So the one who works in small industries or any industries, big industries, or proper these, what I can say, training should be given. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Divakar and Purnima. Nursing and some solar also comes under. I don't know. Will it, yeah, it would be. Thank you so much for your kind information. In each province, yeah, okay. Given like proper place should be there for training. Okay, in each province, a occasional education advisors council should be established for developing healthy relationship between the occasional education and various occasions. Okay, there should be two types of school for occasional education. The first should be the junior occasional school, and the second senior occasional school. In the juniors, mm, someone is writing on my screen. Please try not to do that. Fine. So actually, even I don't know this. Do we have like junior school after the eighth class? There should be 3 years course for vocational education. In senior, there should be 2 years vocational education after the class uh, 11th. The junior vocational school should be considered at par with the high school, and the senior one should be at par with the intermediate colleges. Okay, it's something related to that time. I don't know even is this still existed or not. Yeah, for general and vocational education, they should. Okay, sorry. Uh, in certificate to be awarded after passing a vocational course, there should be a clear mention of the quality of work done by the candidate during the period of vocational training. Even now you are getting the experience certificate, like your capabilities average, his capability or her capabilities are satisfactory or not, or and also mention in which area you are expert. Okay, so certificate should be awarded as for possible. Occasional schools should be established near occasional centers. Okay, part-time classes should be open for persons engaged in various occasions. The workers should be given training in occasional school for 2 or like half days per week, and they should be given full wages for this, like some to learn effectively and to give some help, like financial help. They should be some what I can say, stipend or some sort of scholarship should be given to complete the course successfully without any distraction. Okay, the government should open vocational institution in big cities and big vocational centers, right? Next, we'll see the uh, Hatto Commission, that is which is like involved by the Sir Philip Joseph Haddock. Okay. Haddock Committee in 1929, the Haddock Committee was established by the Simon Commission in 1929 as an auxiliary committee chaired by Philip Haddock to prepare a report on education. The increased number of schools and colleges had resulted in a decline in educational standards. The Haddock Committee was formed to report on educational development. Okay, so why this um, committee formed? What are the reasons? This committee was formed to examine the development of education in British India. It placed far more emphasis on mass education than on secondary and university education. Increase in the number of school and colleges led to the deterioration of education standard across the country. The committee was formed to recommend changes to strengthen the education system in the country. Okay, so some recommendations and findings of this committee. The primary education system as it existed had serious flaws, means like many failures. Okay, quantitative expansion of primary schools was sufficient. Quality improvement was required. There was a lot of squandering and stagnation. Okay, and okay, uh, withdrawing children from school at any stage was a waste of money and time, because the money and time spent had not resulted in literacy for the children. The main reason for the withdrawal of children were poverty, ignorance, caste barriers, and religious, some conservatism, and um, seasonal diseases, and agriculture failure. See, even these days, even today, uh, many, though we are thinking like we have developed technologically or economically a lot, but we can see in the grassroots, um, many dropouts are there because of this poverty. We are always talk about this poverty, and will think like, oh, we should help for the poor, and like we'll feel the sympathy for them, but never we feel for empathetic towards the society, or uh, like towards the needy. Okay, see, caste barriers. What's wrong with the caste, and what is the wrong with the religious? What problem? How this caste and religious can stop you? Okay, diseases are inevitable because we can't avoid, depend on this climate changes or environment, and some other your food habits or whatever your genetics, it may take place. But what is the problem? Like, uh, if we have if we flourished with many things, but if we are not ready to help for the one who are um, uh, like economically weak. Okay, and uh, how it's matter of caste to learn something. Okay, how it's matter of the religious thing, how can it indulge? We are unnecessarily believing all these things. Okay, so we are higher caste, so we should only can do that. We are so lower caste. There is no meaning of caste to learn something, no meaning of religious thing. So I don't want to speak much about this. So please, my dear friends, I'm suggesting you don't include these things in order to teach or in order to learn something. Okay, spread the genuine information. Please learn the genuine things which are really gives you value, and which are really like uh, which can give you evidence. Simply we should not believe. My thing is, I'm very much focused on not believing which are which we cannot see, which we okay. Um, okay, I mean, you should not believe which are not really existed in the society. Okay, um, these in turn resulted in the children withdrawal from school. Okay, I hope this is not existed still. Like, okay, you are from this caste, that caste, so you should not enter into the school. It is not existed, and we are humans. We have every right. We have constitution to learn. You can do anything. No one can stop you. These caste barriers or religious barriers or whatever. Okay. um, we have rights to do the things. uh, Many things I want to speak, but we have time constraints, so I am not deeper into that. The reason for such stagnation were that most schools were run by the single teacher. Teachers were, yeah, yeah, equality should be there. Thank you, Narasimha. Uh, okay, yes, when we are talking, but even I could see a lot of um, I don't want to use such word, but I could see still in the society such people are existed. Uh, I don't know why this is happening. Why we are learning here? If you are educated, we should behave. We should treat all in equal way. If someone is, if you are incapable, then try to do that. But we should not feel jealous with the others. Because they are doing hard work and they are getting it. Then what's the wrong with us? If you can't do, then you just try to check yourself. What is the problem with you? But we should not fall on others, and why we should enter others to go to what I can say, climb the ladder, leap. Yes, Purnima, I strongly agree with you. There should not be any caste. Yeah, but see, this will take place with us only. Okay, we are. Yes, I don't know who is it. Everything. Raghavendra, can you mute yourself, please? Okay, done. So what I'm saying you here, um, I'm deviating. Mm, what we are, yeah. There should not be any discrimination and all. So you you are a parent, or you are a like a teacher, or you are a right or good citizen of India, or a good citizen of this world. If you want to change everything, you uh, change starts with you. That's what we should teach what is right. We should not show any discrimination. Everybody have their own rights and equal opportunities. All right. The reason for such stagnation for most schools were run single teacher. Teachers were not well qualified. See, this still it is there. Okay, there was a shortage of female teachers. Schools were frequently short-lived, and there was a lack of school inspection. Okay, so teachers, whether they are coming or not, nobody is inspecting, and whether the facilities are there or not, whether the funds are utilizing properly, whether the schemes are implemented properly or not in the root level. Uh, that is the thing. The government should be in charge of primary school, control the inspection. It stated the primary school should last 4 years. The school schedule and the curriculum should be tried um, to the environment and conditions of the community in which they are located. Uh, uh, the subject chosen should be of practical value of the students to improve the quality of primary school teachers and refresh like a freshers course and a training program should be offered. Okay. The number of we have, for example, we have guidance and counseling. Yesterday, I've talked about a teacher should be a approachable teacher, and he or she can ready to guide their children or counsel their children also. Okay, to improve the quality. Yeah, that's done. The number of efficiency of school inspections should be increased. The primary schools should serve as community centers where the people in rural areas can get adult education, medical care, uh, and the recreational opportunities as well. Okay, see friends, we have many slides, so quickly I'll go through this. Secondary school education, secondary education flaws inclined, in fact, that is highly examined orient with high number of failures in the matriculation examination. It advocated for the implementation of the more diverse curriculum. Students would benefit from the introduction of alternative courses in higher school because they would be able to choose course based on their aptitude and their interest. The committee recommended that industrial and commercial subjects to be included. Okay, higher education. Though the committee primary focus was on primary education, it also assessed with the states of higher education. It discovered that education was of poor quality, that universities were overcrowded, and the libraries were inadequately equipped. Okay, so um, we have only 25 minutes, so I'm calling. mm, I forgot her name actually. Manjusha. Manjusha, can you present quickly?
Sir,
Yeah, please, Manjusha, you go ahead.
okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. About Indian Universities Act 1904, I prepared about that, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead, Manjusha.
So this act was passed when the Lord Curzon was a viceroy of the in India.
Okay.
So the British viceroy Lord Curzon passed the Indian Universities Act in 1904. So till then, the proper education system is not there in our country. Before this act, Hunter Commission is there, but the recommendations given by the Hunter Commission did not meet the education needs in our country. So later, when the Viceroy Curzon came to India, he developed an act so that it will be useful in education. So the universities, mainly he focused on universities. So through the universities, we can implement some programs that are useful for the education in India. So if you see the recommendations that are given by the Universities Act of 1904, the universities were given the right of teaching along the right of conducting examinations. So till then, the universities were conducting only examinations, but from then, the universities are also given the right of teaching also. So next one, the number of seats in the Senate of universities were not fixed till then. So before this act was introduced, till then the Senate, the number of Senate is not fixed. So by this act, they fixed the number as 50 to 100. So the Senate may be 50 to 100 persons. And their term was determined for 5 years. So they can be in their positions for 5 years. Next. A grant of 5 lakh per year for 5 years was also accepted for the better education and research. So the cousin introduced this because the universities can go further in research. So 5 lakhs per year for 5 years. This is the first step of beginning the universities grant in India. So we can say as a grant in aid also. So these were started only after this act. So research in science, economics, and psychology was given special consideration. So by providing the grants, the research can be in science, economics, and psychology. These fields were given special consideration. Next. Rules in regard to granting of recognition were made strict. So usually, if any university wants a recognition, so they have to follow strict rules. From this act only, they started making the rules more strict. Next, if you see what are the demerits of this act means, the Lord Curzon committed of blunder of not giving representation to the Indian opinion. So he himself took the decisions without having any meeting with the Indian members. So this is a major blunder mistake that is done by Curzon. So that only from his aspect only he made the laws without taking the opinion of the Indians. Next, on the recommendation of the commission, he increased the official control, reduced the number of senate of universities. So he increased the official control. He decreased the senate of the universities. He created effective structure, but its reforms produced unfortunate results. So he created effective structures that works in the universities, but these reforms would not get the results. So these were the demerits of this Universities Act of 1904 that is implemented by Lord Curzon. That's
Okay.
it, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Manjusha. And you have detailed everything. Excellent job. Thank you so much. And friends,
Thank you,
yeah, in next class, even you can also try it. Okay. You have that, what I can say, provision, or like you have that opportunity in my class. All right. Yeah. So we'll continue. Yeah. So we are talking about. I discovered that education was of poor quality. That universities were overcrowded. Okay, we have discussed. No, this is okay, fine. And for women education, that is concerning women education, the committee recommended that education for boys and girls be given equal weightage. Okay, more primary schools for girls to be established. Secondary school curricula should be include hygiene, home science, and music. Okay, it's like depend on your personal interest. But though they mentioned that time, even we don't have even today. We can see only in Kendriya Vidyalayas and JNVs like Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas. We can find such things, but we don't have in state level. As per my knowledge, I didn't see like this music or art or whatever. Mm. Women should also be trained for the teaching job, which should be prioritized. Okay. Meanwhile, someone asked me for PPT, please post your number in the group. Otherwise, even you can mail your mail ID also. Okay. I don't think we have discussed. No? Did we discuss this head of committee? Not. No. The committee investigated various aspects of education and presented its report on commission in 19. 29. It made comprehensive recommendations regarding the various aspects of education in India. The committee made some board observations about India's educational institutions. The committee observed that education had made significant progress by the time. People generally saw education as a matter of national importance. Increased primary school enrollment indicates the people apathy towards education was fading, and that people's social political consciousness was growing. Women, Muslim, and the lower classes had also awaked, and there had been a rapid growth in members, although there were widespread interest in education. Committee was dissatisfied with the country's literacy rate. The committee presented a comprehensive report with the ideas in mind. It was valuable in that it was attempted a education in India. They made recommendations of important secretary and the higher education as well as some of the other aspects in India. Okay, and now we'll see the Varda scheme of education in India. The Varda scheme of education, also known as the Nai Salim Basic Education or Bunyadi Talim Shiksha, basic Shiksha, that is basic education. The scheme was outcome of some thinking of Gandhiji. Also, yesterday I told you a coordination of um, uh, 3H, that is head, hand, and heart. Okay. Okay. Mm, okay. Yes. Diwakar, you will get it. Okay, I'm noting down. um, Shiksha, the scheme was outcome sounding thinking. Gandhiji, who have initiated this and several constructive programs for the economic, educational, and social development of the people, he considered education as the effective instrument of national reconstruction. Main features of the Varda scheme: free and compulsory education. Okay, like just now we have discussed about same article, that is 21A, craft centered education. Like mm, now people can prepare their own bangles or these what we call earrings, as well as paintings. Paintings are like we have Madhubani paintings in India. Also, you can prepare your own instrument, craft centered. Like you can prepare some bags. People are these days preparing many things, like the craft works are coming up, and they are nicely getting. They are becoming self-employed. Also, they become employer. Also, they giving opportunities for others employment. The basic idea of this scheme to impart education through the craft produce productive work. Craft work helps the child to acquire sensor and the motor coordination. Just mentioned, no, three things, and appreciate the value of honest labor. Gandhiji was of the opinion that the method of training the mind to the village handicraft from the belonging as the central focus would promote the disciplined development of the mind adventures, making the craft as the center of education as listed by the Zakir Hussain Committee as or or as follows. Psychologically, it is desirable because it really uh, reveals the child from the training of a purely academic and a theoretical instruction, against which it's active in nature, making, I think, healthy protect. And these are the things like you need to prepare here. You need to make things your own, and you can use the things and own craft. Self-supporting aspect of this scheme. The self-supporting aspect of this scheme, many interpreted in two ways, education that will helps one to be self-supporting in later life, education which itself is self-supporting. The basic idea of Gandhiji was is effectively thoroughly, and it would be enable the school to pay cost for salary teacher at the same time. His aim was to afford the dignity of labor, like whatever dignity of labor in the sense whatever your work is, you should feel it like what I can say. You must feel uh, your work as divine or dignity. Like you should respect your duty and you should be happy with that. Like you are helping to someone. One of the resolution that was adopted the all media national consensus for the was the education must be important the mother tongue. All the same in order to learn the things, it should be um, related to yeah. That's great. Uh, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Uh, please, my dear friends.
Amen.
Uh, uh,
Amen.
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 Uh, Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Aman, for your ideas sharing with us. Friends, you try to look at uh, your chat box, how nicely they are sharing their ideas. I'm so happy with that, and you are so practical and secular in nature. That's a great thing I could see.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Not only you learn and you should teach the one who are around you and your siblings, or even you can teach your parents, whoever you try to teach the secularity and this equality, fraternity and all fundamental rights. Okay. And not to be biased or discriminate with all. Okay, medium of instruction, before it was like in English, so people uh, all cannot learn that easily, and they cannot complete the course. So in this they mentioned like medium of instruction should be in mother tongue, so in mother tongue they can learn easily. Okay. Yeah. Right. This scheme is financially sound and acceptable in both countries like India, where it was half of the total uh, illiterate people of the world reside. It is uh, helpful for the rapid expansion of elementary education with less burden of public, um, economically considered carried out. Okay, this is all about you if you're self-employed, you need not worry about this financial crisis, and uh, like uh, you try to spread your skills, and you try to teach. That is what here they mentioned. And activity curriculum in order to work out an effective and natural coordination of the um, various subjects to make. Okay, so in curriculum, they should maintain activity in the sense why we conduct activities, because um, yeah, you should be active all the time. You learn things actively. Okay, and there will be a coordination with your mental as well as cognitive level, learning by doing. Yesterday we talked about this same, this is called experiential learning. Okay, social activities and Hello. Sorry, friends. Actually, I have some network issues. That's what mm, it happened. Again, we'll continue. Hello. Am I audible to you? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, and social activities and community life, like um, some social activities, also how to cope up with, and you can learn from the community in a particular area from each other. Your uh, like interested things and self sufficiency. Okay, you have to start with the conviction that looking to meet the villages. Yeah, like you need not to depend always on other things or others, like self, like you can prepare your things in own, you can learn from others, and even you can teach also. That is here means. And also free and compulsory education, again here they have mentioned. Okay. And the mother tongue as a medium of instruction and education through correlation, like correlating, like you should relate with something, then you can it will be, you can retain the information for a long time. Okay, if for example we'll be having some codes, we'll learn many things, like aptitude or some other things, which we can correlate with other things. Okay, then you can learn easily, and it will be long lasting, right? Information. Integrated knowledge, like basic education treats knowledge as an integrated whole. Curriculum is built around three uh, integrally related with centers: learning in creative manner or others. Yeah, correct, you are right. Thank you. Yeah, relationship with life. A basic school must be become an active environment where teaching is not cut off from the life, the community of the school itself. Education is to be directed to the need of life. Okay, relationship with life, like yeah, like you should live with the present, like everything you should relate. The system was able to remove class and caste distinction. We have discussed about this also. And the basic education in rural as well as in urban areas. It is wrong to assume that basic education is intended to be imparted. Yes, I always say like a student centered, not teacher centered, because that's what I gave you, Manjusha, this opportunity. Even I want to give everyone, but you are unless until you are active to do, and you are active to respond with me. Otherwise, if you keep quiet, then I have to do my job. Otherwise, if you discuss something, whatever you know, whatever we are discussing in the class, then it becomes a healthy classroom, and teacher come student friendly atmosphere here. Okay, it is wrong. Yeah. All right. You can interact in my class. You need not to be hesitate. I don't have any rules. I won't stop you anywhere. Okay. Now, apart from subject also, you can speak whatever you want to share. Then along with me, 20-30 persons can learn. That's what yesterday I mentioned. It was wrong to assume that basic education is intended to be imparted in rural areas only. In fact, in one sense, there is a greater need of basic education in urban areas as well. So we can't assume that okay, oh, Hyderabad full highly well developed, so everyone is literate here. They have values and moral, all the things. But we should not like assume people, illiterate people in some lakhs or existed everywhere in metropolitan areas, all and urban areas also. So we should focus on both the areas. All right, and also teach the basic education as well. Okay. So, friends, this is all about today, and uh, please end the time over. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Take care. Bye bye. Have a great day. Thank you.